Hey everyone, surprise surprise, it's me again, Babalicious, and today I'm gonna try to explain how my drone actually works. So let me put it on this platform that I created for it, so that I can move around it a little bit better, maybe, hopefully. Like that, remove the lift, alright, let's push it up a little, okay, there you go, it's kinda centered, alright, that's kinda how I thought this would work, okay. Anyway, this drone has a lot of logic on it, of course. And it's divided into 4 parts actually. It's the back side, and then it's that, for me it is, I'm saying the left side because now I'm standing in front of the drone, it faces me and I'm looking at that side, and for me this is the left side, so I'm calling this the left side. Okay, so on that left side there's 3 conditions which have to be met to activate this thruster here in the back, which is overlapped by these booster animations, but over there is a little pico thruster from the mod pack, which makes the drone move towards my position once it really faces me. So the conditions that I'm comparing here are no, I'm not comparing this one. I'm actually, in that case, for the player, I'm only comparing this one. Is the output value of that math block in left-right mode in a threshold of positive and negative 0.05. Whenever that is the case, then this AND gate is active. In case this orientation block tracking the player has a target, which it doesn't have at the moment because it's offline, because this switch isn't pressed yet. Otherwise, when I'm standing here, this gate would be offline. Let me demonstrate you this. Let me unpower the gimbal thrusters so that it doesn't fly away. I just want to prove that this gate will turn off when I stand here while the drone is over there. Okay, it's unfolding, alright, but you see this is off now because I'm not directly in the front of the drone. Actually now, as you see, it's active because I'm kinda in a straight line with the drone's front. Okay, so let me turn this off again. This is the one comparison that I need to make sure that the drone is facing me. And I have another comparison, comparing if my distance from the drone is bigger than 30 and smaller than 600 blocks away from this orientation block. And 600 blocks is actually the maximum distance that an orientation block can track anything. So yeah, when it's closer than 30 blocks to me, then it will not move any further forward. It will only adjust its direction towards me. Let me show you this as well. Get rid of the lift here. So the starting value for this drone needs to be the value in slot 0 of the memory panel, containing a value of 125. And when I activate it, this AND gate will directly switch to active, because this is comparing my current altitude plus 20 to the current altitude of the drone itself. Once this is active, this is 0 at the moment because this orientation block doesn't have me as a target. When I activate this, yeah, this is my current altitude, 214, let's say I'd jump, then this would increase. You see that? No, you can't see it because I'm standing on a stupid hill, permanently switching my own altitude to something else. But you see now, when I jump, see that value? It's 4 now, and there it's 8. So plus 20, the drone is always 20 blocks above my current altitude, my current position. So it's not sensing 20 blocks away from the ground, it's sensing 20 blocks above my current position on the map. That may have been redundant, but I just want to make sure that you guys get what this does. This is what this front side of logic does. I gotta turn this off again to keep explaining what's going on here. Okay, so this left side, whenever these both of these gates are active, this thruster will start moving towards my position. And on the right side, there we have actually the same comparisons, just for the spot turret facing or tracking the bots. And the comparisons I'm doing over here is, does this orientation block output a value to these math blocks in forward and left right movement in a threshold of positive and negative .01 to the top right, top down and left right movement. So is the spot turret really facing the bot? Only then those two gates will turn on, and it is in range. Yeah, it's further away than 1 block, and it's closer than 160 max distance blocks away from the drone. Then all these 3 gates are active and will start the loop, which make the guns shoot. Then whenever these 3 conditions are met, no, actually when this condition is met, when there's a bot in range, then this laser from the mod pack will indicate that the drone currently has a target and is only correcting its position, focusing the target until those values are met and it starts shooting. Otherwise, the drone will only compare these 2 conditions towards my current position and altitude to follow me and hover in place until there is a next bot coming. So then there are 2 more things. Actually, I'm having a mechanism over here. This middle piece is on an invisible bearing. This middle piece was supposed to be a sort of stabilization mechanism for this spot turret. I wanted this to always face north, and it would have been controlled by this little MJM engine over here, but I turned it off because the mechanism doesn't really work as good as I thought. The idea was to always make it face north, so that this piece is always stable, even though the drone might move or turn. So this bearing over here would be turning, but this piece would always try to face north, so that the spot turret could move more easily. But that's actually not the case, because it's always switching back and forth between positive and negative, like .0 something, because I didn't implement a threshold for this value, so that it actually stops moving back and forth. It just keeps doing that, so I switched that mechanism off. It's still kind of work in progress. So in the back, let me explain this memory panel stuff a little further. The memory panel contains two values on slot 0 and +1. Let me see where we are. There is slot 0. This contains a value of 125. I could set this value to something else with this line of blocks and this panel and these buttons over here. So let's say I want to switch this to 135. Yeah, why not? Okay, I wanna set this to 135. Yeah, English. So I just have to press this green button to set that value on that current slot over here to this value. Okay, bam, there you go. You see, this is the value stored at slot 0. So let's switch to slot 1. Let's say I want to increase that to 10 more, like 165. I could simply press this green button again and have stored this value on slot 1. Now let's switch back to slot 0, which should contain 135, which it does. Okay, and to subtract the same amount, we would have to paint this like that, back to 155. That's the value I want to store here because it was correct, and on the other slot it was 125. Alright, so this is how you store values from that row into that memory panel. So the power, yeah, did I explain that with the altitude? Not really yet. So I said that I'm comparing it, okay, but I'm comparing my current altitude, which is 260 now, and when I jump it's 220, plus 20, which is 236 in that case right now, to the current altitude of the drone, actually this axometer here. And I'm doing this with that math block over there. So the altimeter is the white input of that block, and the player tracking orientation block is painted black. It's the black input. And whenever this condition is met, this AND gate turns on, and when this AND gate turns off, this NOR gate turns on. And those two gates actually operate on these buttons in the back, where I can switch between the frequencies, right? So the AND gate actually turns on when it falls, so it presses the orange button to increase the frequency of the memory panel by 1, and the NOR gate actually presses the brown button to decrease it by 1. So it's always switching between these two gimbal thruster power number outputs to make the drone hover in place. And that's pretty much it, I think. Let me walk around it once more. Yeah, this in the back is only the output of the position of that middle section, which is deactivated at the moment because it's not as effective as I would have liked it to be. This is the number input. This row is empty, by the way. It has no use. It's just there for the exact same weight distribution on the other side to have a symmetrical build. Did I forget anything? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, of course there are several other things. Of course, the ammo supply is made with a wireless router above this mini engine. It's painted black and it's set to a frequency of 0, and it is the sending part, and it is activated also with that switch. When I activate that switch, the signal is going to that wireless router on frequency 0 in sender mode and being received by this wireless router, painted black, frequency set to 0, being in receiver mode. So the switch signal is simply piped through those routers, and over here I'm simply connecting this router to the teleportation pipe, which is sending ammo out of this ammo container filled with like I think 300,000 spots or something like that. I guess maximum 256,000 spots if you have the Rusty Fusion mod pack installed, which makes this a stack size of 100. Yeah, long explanation, took really long, but there's a lot to explain as well. By the way, this is the AND or NOR loop making the spots shoot. And if I took out my wiring tool, you would see why I didn't take it out at any other time in the video trying to explain things, because it's just, this is hard to explain if you're looking at these dots. Nope. I hope you got the idea, hope this was helpful, and if you enjoy the blueprint, leave a like, subscribe, share, feel free to chat on that Discord channel that I opened for you guys to download the blueprint, and have fun. See you later. Bye bye.